And we are streaming. Bit of a random sudden one here, but I haven't streamed F1 or anything that isn't marshalling in quite a while, so I figured I'd actually go back to doing this for a little bit. Also joining me, who might pop up, is my cat, who has decided to sit on the desk and is currently just watching my mouse and being very interested in it, aren't you? But hey, if my cat's wanting to hang out with me today, I have no objections to this. So, let's go and review some targets. So, hoping we can get both drivers into the top 10 here, although this is not a circuit that should suit us particularly. As mentioned, it's a high-speed one, but our cars should be good enough to make this. We'll find out. Right. Finish position streak. We're going to start another free race one, and we're going to hope that we can get both drivers into the top 9. For free races. I mean, what's the extension here? We'll go for free. We want it I'll put it in line with our qualifying streak targets, so we get double pay at the same time. Right. And with that done, let's go to the race weekend and start watching the spinning dots go round and round and round. So the French Grand Prix. It's confusing to look at. It's confusing to drive around. Just hope you got the right configuration memorized.
It's Grand Prix time here in Le Castellet.
Okay, continue. So, hard tyres. Revert back to our older spec stuff. Although it's getting a little questionable what is older spec at this point. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with that gearbox. The others are a bit knackered. Yeah, we'll go with that. We might have to buy some new components at some point. 22 laps. Ricard, kind of a high-speed circuit, but some cornering things to go. You are very confused by the mouse and just all of the random things spinning around, aren't you? It's fine. Maybe I'll pop his head up in a little bit, but he's just lying here at the moment, so... And since he's not causing any trouble, other than making it awkward for me to use my keyboard because of where he's positioned, we'll work around it. Alright, so onto our slightly worn engine. The ERS is probably fine for at least the practice sessions. We'll change that out as we go. And we'll put the worn gearbox on to try and save ourselves a little bit of running. This is the halfway point of the season here, so we are kind of getting to a stage where... well, we might have to consider paying for extra stuff, which, to be fair, would give us a boost as well. Alright, Mitch. Sorry, Artie.
Radio check.
Yep.
Radio's good.
Right, send out. And send out. And because you're right in the way of my sight lines for the speed thing, we're just going to go to there. And now he's going to watch the dots go round and round and round. If my desk wasn't a complete mess, I'd show this. Okay, Magnussen locking up. But there is absolutely zero runoff area that you can't, you know. Yeah, thank you. Time 16. We have a thing that's happened. What the thing has happened? We have a random subscriber. Hello. Apologies. Yeah, my cat is quite small, laying down, and he's still somehow in the way of everything I need to encounter on this side of the screen. Now, whether that's in relation to, obviously, this video, or whether it's just in relation to Raoul's subscribing at any point during any of my videos, unknown. But hey, if you are here, thank you very much. Trying to tidy up the desk a little bit for you, Artie.
Did somebody spin out there?
Yes, and it wasn't us for once.
How's the balance?
Alright, call you in and reconfigure. So, what are we doing? 79's not bad. We're okay with this. So, we'll do a couple of tweaks here. One click up, one click up. And since that's great, we'll try and rebalance that a little bit there. And kick the toe out a bit more. See if we can actually... go with something that looks a little like that. Maybe just... yeah, we'll try that. Worst comes to it, we've made the carb worse. But as we're in the high 70s, it is absolutely not a problem.
How was the balance?
It was okay.
Yep, understood.
73. And all goods. Alright, let's do a double click and... we'll try that. I've basically put it... in theory, this should tell me which direction to go in for each of them, so we'll see. Alright, off we go, and... eventually, off we go. Well, I'm glad you're entertained by all the spinning dots, even if I'm not. Might have to close the curtain as well if that's going to get very, very bright. Yellowing free, but nothing that affects us. Me.
How's the balance?
I'm happy here.
Excellent.
understood, Kev.
Improvement made. And I'm trying to remember if we did the same similar things to Schumacher. I think we might have done for some of it, but we'll find out.
Anything we can help you with?
Car
Yeah,
felt quite good.
we made Schumacher's
Yes,
car
understood.
worse.
Good
That's
idea.
fine. Well, it's not fine, but you know, it's what it is. Still, high percentiles for track knowledge. We obviously know the car components we're working with inside out, so just some minor adjustments to make.
See you back here.
Alright, practice 2. Medium. So we're going to revert, although that is interesting to know. We have the optimal position for oversteer is basically there, so we can work on that. So we'll go to that. We will put that back down to about there. So we know that is optimal. That should be okay here. And everything else is in the other direction. So I think that's going to be okay. Wasn't a huge improvement, but we have multiple optimal points, and we just need to get the braking stability point back in line. Which, honestly, we can do with this, because those are the only 2 points that would be adjusted, so let's go with that, and that might actually be pretty decent. Fairly certain that's going to get Magnussen into the 90s.
Ready check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
Alright, round 2 of the Spinning Dot of Doom. And then when we get to qualifying, as usual, I'll show the lap of the track and why it is really confusing. I've also, from a gameplay perspective, decided that we are now continually focusing on research for next year's car. We're not doing any further car development on what we got thus far. We're already up to a position where we are effectively 5th fastest on the grid in a lot of areas, 1st fastest in the slow speed corners. So while we do have a big weakness in high speed, I think that's fine. What we're just going to do is focus on research for next year's car, make next year's car awesome, and win the championship in year 2. Hopefully by a mile. Just do one thing here.
How is the balance?
It was okay.
Still only saying goods.
Understood, Nick. Understood.
Well, it did not save my adjustments. It didn't seem to save my adjustments, which is weird. Okay. 3 clicks there. Put that back to there. We're going to take the 2 back out to somewhere there. Readjust in 1 click back. No, maybe we do put that there. Alright, we'll go with that. Soft tire run. Yep. That was expected. Is it 100% optimal or is it just optimal? Either way, I think that's all the points for Magnussen, so good potential race for him coming up. Thank you. One minor adjustment there. Well, we will give that a go, see if that makes any kind of difference. It might not. Alright, Schumacher out. Okay, now you're just trying to bat the dots on the screen, Nardi, are you? It's not going to work. You're not going to win. You might knock over my monitor, which would be expensive, but, you know, you're not going to win. Gearbox wear we know about, that's fine.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
So really hope we actually have a decent setup for Schumacher this time, otherwise we have to do some adjustments.
Someone's run wide.
How is the balance?
86.
How's the
Okay,
balance?
that's an improvement. We can live with 86.
That feels really good.
Understood, understood. Kev, how's the balance?
Well, we've made it worse, but it's still going to be good, even if it is worse. Just means we've got to go the other direction now. Okay, practice free.
Our race weekend continues.
So, soft tire running all the way through this. Let's have a look at what we can adjust. So, a couple of optimal positions. The rear wing isn't ideal. But we can try that and see what happens from this. Minor adjustment on both. Okay. Meanwhile, Magnussen, we're just going to revert. And yeah, apparently we just did too much doing the other things. Yes, Microsoft Excel F1 edition. That is exactly what we're doing here. Currently, we're just spinning the dots around and trying to get the setup correct. Which is the worst part of this game, in a lot of ways. Because I have to go through 3 long practice sessions at times 16 speed.
Ready to check, Kevin?
Radio's good.
But here we go. Yeah, so last 2 races didn't exactly go too well for us, but oh. You okay, Bubba? My cat is here, so if you hear me referring to Bubba or already, he's there. He decided he wants to hang out today, which, you know, we're all for. He has, however, got bored of the dots on the screen and is now just sort of curling up to the monitor because it's a little warm, I imagine. Actually, is it warm? Yeah, a little bit. Slightly above ambient, and he cares about such small margins. And also about things he can knock off the desk, or at least bat around. But hey. That's looking alright. New tyres. We'll actually put a 22 run plan in. Unfortunately, because of the way we set this up, didn't really max this out. But we got to 100% with Magnussen anyway, so we don't need to worry about too much. Okay. Apparently we didn't stick with this. Artie has never once decided to shred my face to pieces. He doesn't like feet, though. Eh? Also, apparently you've been laying on my metal wallet all this time, which isn't... it can't be good for you. Okay. There you go. Is that much more comfortable? Are you happier now? No, you want to knock more things off my desk. Perfect. We're going to have a disagreement. You're going to leave. Fine, you can sit on my wallet. Oh well, cat's gone. We no longer have companionship for the rest of this stream. Right, reversion, and I don't think we need to do too much. Just make sure we are there. I think he had one ear on stream at any given point, but you know, I'm not mad. There was definitely a cat there. I mean, I am mad, but there definitely was a cat there. Possibly. To be fair, though, he only ever knocks things off desks when it's accidental, when he's interested in other things, or he's bored. And, you know, he gets bored a lot. Especially at 4 AM when I'm trying to sleep. That's when he seems most bored. $95 and 97. Okay, we're okay with this. Actually bring them both in now, actually, because they don't need to... We're wasting components a little bit doing this, but hey.
Okay, you're coming back to us now, Mick.
It is. It always is. Okay, so qualifying. We will of course manage and... Oh, wait a minute.
Radio check.
Hold on, I've got to reload. Just realised I did a thing. 1254, yeah, that's what I said from a minute ago. It's fine, nothing has happened. I'm not just undoing a mistake, although I am undoing a mistake. Oof. Yeah, my friend has a couple of Maine Coons. I know one of them used to hunt foxes. We assume successfully on the basis that we found a couple of foxes at one point. Alright, let's revert to best engine. And other than that, everything seems good. Let's revert you to engine and ERS and thing. We're definitely going to need new components for Magnussen before the end. We're going to stick with a currently slightly worn gearbox here, but he's definitely going to need a new gearbox. Probably going to need a new engine for the end of the season. Right.
Radio check.
Radio's good.
Okay, qualifying. Let's actually... Do you want to send out now? Let's send out now. We always go for a traditional initial run, even though it's a bad idea. And also, once they're back onto sort of a track, we'll do a lap. So, on board with Schumacher. At double speed, because, you know, we do things properly here. Yeah, so the Paul Ricard, it's flat, it's blue, it's red, and has about 200 configurations that you can potentially do, and absolutely, you could almost straight line this track in a lot of ways. But hey. Apparently he's better than Magny-Cours, which was a genuinely good racetrack. But hey. Opinionated. Alright, doesn't look as if we're going to get blocked by anybody, because that's still Magnussen ahead of us, and we're not encountering anybody just yet. This, of course, is the section of track where we don't want to encounter anybody. Oh, no, wait, tell a lie. That is a Red Bull there. Well, good news is we've ruined your qualifying lap as well. So probably going to have to go again, but at least we still seem reasonable for time at the moment. Yes, apparently there was a patch, the last one that we had, which meant cars would get out of the way more effectively. As you can tell, it's working brilliantly. But hey, we've shown the lap now. We don't have to do any more of that. We'll just wait for the time. So, people are going out quite early. I mean, it's a 1:30 lap, so we probably do need a bit of time. But we will go right at the end of this. Okay, let's go. I mean, we've had that. Hamilton has taken up Magnussen at least twice that we know about. Actually, no, once that we know about and once to somebody else. Anyway, we're going to get across the line in time, hopefully. Last chicane. Yes, Schumacher across the line, and that is all good. All right. Green in the first sector for both drivers. Green for Schumacher, which is encouraging because Schumacher's the one that's probably the most one. We're going to ignore the refuel request because he's about to cross the line anyway. And we actually improved to... Yeah, Magnussen was 8th. I lost Magnussen on the list somewhere there. 8th and 10th. That is reasonable on a track that probably doesn't suit us. And hey, we were able to get him on warmed rubber as well, which is quite nice. Alright. Qualifying 2. Alright, once again, we're going to send out immediately. But I'm going to send them out on fresh rubber here and hope that they can actually do a time. We're going to get held up by everybody here. Ricciardo's come out. Got around Ocon, thankfully, but I think Ricciardo's going to block us. Doesn't block Mick, actually. And again, we have the same sort of situation. So it might have been briefly held up from Magnussen's perspective. We'll see where this goes. I'm actually going to go for tyres to try and get us into the next round. Because again, 8th and 10th. Okay, here we go. Sixth and 8th, but I imagine a couple of people are going to improve. Hamilton, probably. Yeah, I don't know why it's complaining about fuel all of a sudden. It never used to. Maybe it's just a high consumption circuit here. Either way, 7th and 9th. That was actually a step up. Okay, we will start qualifying on the best of our tyres that are worn. And we'll do our fast lap at the end.
Radio check.
And everybody immediately coming out because Leclerc might... No, Leclerc won't get in our way. We're actually going to have 2 clean runs. Okay, 7th, 10th. going to get in the way of Leclerc here, I think. And then Schumacher last across the line. Well, actually... yeah, we'll have a Schumacher on board while we go and do this here. See if we can get ourselves at least into ninth above Gasly. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tall order to break into the top 6 unless something changes. To be fair, there could be some engine penalties. I didn't actually look for that. No, there are no penalties, at least in terms of reused engines. So a bit later in the season, hopefully. At the moment, people still are running worn stuff. Double improvement for Magnussen, double improvement for Schumacher. Not necessarily configured in this game at the moment, but are we going to get above Gasly? That's the question. Don't need to improve by much, and we improve by enough to get 9th. Okay, so 7th and 9th to start the race. That is acceptable. Unless Gasly's actually setting a time. No, he's not. He apparently was warping around the track looking at that.
The time has come for these drivers.
Alright, race day. So, imagine this is just a one-stop. It is a one-stop. It just depends what one-stop you want to take here. Tyres will do 51 laps, apparently. If you want them to. Okay. So, I think we're going to go... oh wow, there is no scope here. Alright. Apparently, this is going to be faster. Well, I don't see why this is so much slower. I suppose... alright. Well, Schumacher's going to go hard medium. We might go medium hards with... why is this faster? What am I missing? There's no weather indicators or anything. We could go... we could go with something like this. Much faster. We basically gain a minute on the race doing this strategy. So, okay. I'm going to try and get this early, because if we can gain the jump, then that's fine. Schumacher will do the more conventional strategy, because he's usually better at holding his fuel anyway. Going to be behind other cars, so hopefully we'll have some capacity to save some fuel and driver options. Normal overtake. I don't think there's much point in trying to force things, especially as I'm fairly certain we are behind the Mercedes today.
It's bright and sunny. And here we go with the French Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Alright, Magnussen 7th, Schumacher 9th. We're going to stick with Magnussen and see if we can jump a Mercedes at the start. But it looks like as we were... we should be getting this section of the track, in truth, and then obviously it's just the DRS bit at the end, which is the problem, as it is on all tracks, really. And then the high-speed cornering at the end of a lap. So a lot of things that we don't like. Apparently, though, Magnussen is capable of fighting Russell here, at least with some ERS assistance. We'll go to times 2. See if we can make anything here. On the plus side, Gasly does not seem to be able to keep up with the Schumacher, Alonso, Magnussen pace, so that is encouraging. And it looks as if we might be going up, well, challenging, but that's not an overtaking position on the outside of the last corner. This is an overtaking spot if you can get a good run on the inside of this, and not quite. Russell is still within DRS range of Hamilton, so we need to be aware of that gap. But hey, let's go. I think we are faster than the Mercedes in a straight line. At least without DRS support, and there we go. Alright, now we need to stay within Hamilton's range so we get some DRS and can use his speed to slingshot us forward a bit. But hey, position gained. Also, Mick did get ahead of Alonso as well, so 2 position changes. Alright, revert to neutral, and...
DRS enabled.
DRS enabled, and also Magnussen's not within a second, so Magnussen might just be losing that position again in a moment or two. Because of that, I think we're going to conserve fuel on both drivers here.
Do some lifting coast. Back up.
And let him pass again. Again, if we get DRS, that's usually fine. There we go.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Not liking that Alonso's got beyond us again here.
Alpine just advanced.
It's all good. We're fine. We just need to save fuel through the race, and so it's better for us to do it now than later. In theory. Also, what tires are people on? Alonso's on mediums, so he should be on. He's on faster tires than us. Albon spun. I thought that was Alonso spinning though, but he'd not moved positions. Ultimately, as long as we're in this four car duel, we're okay. We just have to stay within range, though. It's a little disappointed we lost Hamilton because that would have slingshot us a little further up the track, but it's fine. We have to save some fuel. That being said, Magnussen also needs to stick with this, so... yeah, we can't afford to lose the gap to the front too, so... Okay, Alonso passed Russell. Yeah, no worries. Catch you later, sir. Might need Schumacher to kick the pace up a couple of notches here. Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, we're mostly just competing for the lower points end here, but hopefully we can get 6th. At least beat Russell. That is the current plan, if nothing else. Well, saved about 7.7 kilos, which is fine. That's what we want to be doing. And Maxim's really not lost that much in terms of things doing this. Schumacher's starting to fall off the pace a bit, so we're going to have to push him up to standard to keep in range, I think. Maybe do a little bit of deploying here just to try and not lose ground. But this is the bit of the track we're fast in, and then it leads into the DRS straight, so... Downside is... they all have this DRS straight and things, so... Alright, back to conserving Schumacher. 1 kilo of fuel down. Oh, god darn it. Alright, conserve for Magnussen. Schumacher's going to have to push. Magnussen has made mistakes in nearly every race. In each of the last 3 races he has made mistakes, and he made mistakes during practice as well.
If you don't need it, no lift and coast.
Right.
Copy.
Schumacher needs to make sure he's in range, and he is. Okay, so ultimately not too much has changed. Magnussen's safe in second, and in theory he's faster than Mick, so I imagine he'll close up in a few laps, but yeah, slightly annoying. There's a very low chance of a safety car around here because, again, there's no real runoff area that basically causes your car to collide with a wall, which I suppose we should be thankful for. Magnussen didn't actually, you know, fall off and lose everything, but... Alright, let's start harvesting with Schumacher here. Harvesting rather than that, and I think we're going to harvest with Magnussen as well, because I think Magnussen is actually going slower than this. So with DRS assistance, we're actually pulling away here. And on that basis, yeah, we'll have Magnussen go conserve, get his fuel under control, sort things out here. If Schumacher can stick with this pair while conserving some battery, that's going to be useful for us, so we'll let him continue to do that. I'm looking at the gap to Gasly a little there, and I think we can now go neutral. Down the DRS back straight, and yeah, we're nearly fully charged again. So we got spare battery, which is ultimately only going to be important for when we're sort of pushing for the over/undercut. No, we're just not able to do a lot to Alonso here, are we? And we are the 5th fastest in a straight line, but I don't think our DRS is necessarily that good. And it might just be that that's holding us back a little here. Alright, let's go conserve on both and just spend another couple of laps just undoing our fuel saving a bit. So I'm confident Schumacher can just stick with this pair at the moment. Alright, down to 2 seconds. So I'm keeping sort of a rough eye on the Magnussen-Gasly gap. But yeah, Magnussen's in no man's land at the moment. Alonso back ahead of Russell. doesn't especially bother us here, although apparently that gap's gone up to nearly a second now, so maybe it does a little. Still got DRS, that's fine. Just a little concerning just at that point. But at point 6, I think we got enough that we can cover. 40 laps to go. We could definitely save point 6 in that time. Yellow flag sector 2.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Okay, a lot of cut from Vettel doesn't affect our race at all. And Schumacher, of course, is going to still save some fuel sitting behind the two drivers. He's basically slipstreaming, so... So Magnussen's got the slightly trickier job. And given that he's now 2.7 ahead, we can, again, go conserve and a little bit of harvesting. 6 seconds behind, and with no real reason for that as far as I can tell. His tyres are still okay. Gasly.
Is that a lock-up?
And back to balance. Schumacher looks closer than 0.7, just going to say that now. The gap interval doesn't seem to be recording correctly here. Okay, several car crash. Let's see what happened here.
It's a crash, and it's more than one car.
Nope, not sure what that was about, but hey. Either way, nothing actually affected things. Just Alonso and Russell swapping positions back and forth and us just being in position to attack if it comes to it. Oh, I know what happened. It was Ocon and Gasly looking at that. Magnussen has just got a freebie here to start conserving. 3 seconds. Back Gasly in the pits, so obviously that's damage. Point 3. Schumacher's got some extra thing here. Let's deploy a little. Well, it's not really giving him any... Yeah, it's not... There's not a benefit to overtaking at this point, as far as I can work out, so... Not a massive one, anyway. It's more important for us to stay in range, so we're just going to do that here. And it looks as if that is now nearly there with Madison's fuel load. So I think we'll just go to normal fuel usage and just assume we're going to get that 0.1 at some point during the race here. And Schumacher not far off just managing it himself. The line variance is strong, although admittedly I know Alonso's trying to get past Russell on every single corner at the moment. Alright, what was our strategy again? Lap 32 for Schumacher, lap 30 I think for Magnussen. I think we can actually start going a little more aggressive with both drivers here. This may hurt in the long run, but let's see. I mean, especially Schumacher doesn't need to go aggressive, actually, because he's just stuck behind other people. What I'm probably going to do, actually, is swap the positions over a little bit here. So, because Schumacher's the one who's going to be able to jump a position, in theory. Whereas Magnussen's kind of running long. So, we'll go with that. And see if Magnussen pushing can actually lower this 10-second gap. I mean, I know DRS is quite powerful here, but, you know, it's just...
That's a spin!
Bottas spins, so... Magnussen just keeps losing challenges. People get to a position where they might be able to threaten him, and then they just have issues. Or crash. But, okay, that's fine. I mean, 8th and 9th is perfectly acceptable position for our car that's aiming for 6th in the championship, so... Right, when is Alonso likely to come in? Soon-ish. So I think it was about 24 was the actual lap for this, so... And also, the good news is Russell's with us, so we've still got Russell's pace for DRS purposes, where Alonso's not going to have that anymore. So I think we are going to jump Alonso when he pits. He will have faster tyres, obviously, but we'll be 10 laps better off at the end of the race. And on faster tyres, so I think we'll be okay. So Magnussen doing 38.6s to our 38.9. So he's okay. He's closing the gap up a little bit, pushing a bit. And he's up to fuel parity, so excellent. No more fuel saving required. Verstappen pits now. Okay, 21's early. I wasn't expecting quite that. If that's the case, we're going to actually go aggressive with Schumacher because there's a chance that Russell's going to go in. Although Hamilton went in this lap, so I don't think that's going to... Well, Alonso could go in, is what I mean. And he did. Okay. Again, just more about making sure that we are still within range of Russell. And obviously we now got Verstappen behind us on hard tyres, so... Okay. Race time then. Let's deploy. We don't necessarily need to be ahead of Russell here, but we want to be at least going faster than Alonso is. So we'll keep an eye on the lap times in a moment. But we've made sure we are still in range there, and obviously when Verstappen gets past us, which he probably will do, just making sure of that as well. Don't want to do is lose DRS to faster cars if we can avoid it. I think we'll be okay here. We'll get ahead of both of us, that's fine. And now the hope is that Russell's somehow able to keep with this.
Red Bull gained a place.
Apparently not. Verstappen's just a rocket ship at the moment. Yeah, the interval's already 1.3. I was kind of hoping that we'd get past and then be able to use Verstappen's pace, but maybe we just won't. Well, maybe we can. Hold on. Not impossible. Just got to deploy here, possibly go a bit aggressive. Stay within 1 second if it's at all possible to do. But I don't think it is. Yeah, it's going to cost us too much to try. Alright. Back with it and down we go. We're going to harvest. Russell will get past us at some point in the next few laps. And we'll just continue on with that as is. Meanwhile, Magnussen's still on the race on himself, having spun. And yeah, as I said, Russell did in fact get ahead of us. But
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
importantly, what are we doing compared to Alonso here? So we're doing 38 threes, 38 zeros. Alonso doing a 38-1. So he's going faster than us at the moment, a little. But I think generally this is okay. Guess I hope is Alonso's going to get caught up in traffic with Tsunoda and Hamilton. And then we, of course, be on medium tyres, so... $138.6 for Mick versus... I mean, half a second slower than Russell, but we're still basically with him.
Haas with an overtake.
This is fine. Again, one of us doesn't have DRS, so the other one's always going to get past in these sort of positions. Something happening in Sector 3, but that's just a thing.
And that's a lockup.
138.2. Leclerc locking up. That's not the worst thing for us. They might allow Magnussen to start using some DRS space, but apparently not. Alright, what's Alonso's lap? 138.1. So he's still going a tenth faster than us each lap, so he is closing, but not by a lot. I mean, 2 or 3 laps of this, though. And the medium offset's going to be in our favour. Yeah, Max is going to have to ease off. But we can probably now be aggressive with Schumacher and try and actually force some time into these last few laps. Again, we expect Russell to get back past us again, but we want to make sure that when we are leading...
I'm sorry about the spin.
Let's have a look. Now just focus on the Haas.
Hold on, did you knock us out here? No, we just spun.
They've spun their car.
Well, now we're in trouble.
We will totally catch them up, okay?
So we just lost 3 seconds there.
Moved up a place.
Alright, full deploy. Let's see if we can actually catch them up. Because, I mean, that's kind of hurt in our battle against Alonso. He's just on a 137.9. With Leclerc behind us with DRS. I mean, that actually is going to correct things to a certain extent here. And I'm kind of the opinion we're now going to go a lap longer with Schumacher. Because we can use Leclerc to hopefully drag us along.
Okay, we're out of DRS.
Okay, start harvesting, but again, in theory, Leclerc will get past us now, and then he can drag us on the next DRS straight.
Yeah, copy.
We're 3 tenths faster than Russell again here, but again, we're hoping that with Leclerc eventually getting faster, so I kind of wanted him ahead of us before this point, I'm going to be honest, but hey. Leclerc with DRS not getting past us there is a bit annoying. Okay, so Russell doing a 1:38.5. We are slower by nearly a second. I mean, holding up Leclerc doesn't actually help our race up at all, but... we're going to be behind Alonso by a reasonable amount, I think. Unless this is a massively quick pit stop. Again, the hope was...
We'll box
The
now.
hope was Leclerc would get past us and his superior pace would allow us to DRS close in on Russell a bit. That's not happened. Half a second both times. Tyres slightly warm, but that's fine. We're going to be losing those tyres in a few moments.
No more lifting coast.
Copy.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
Yeah, Leclerc not getting past this has kind of screwed us a little bit weirdly. But it's fine. You might get ahead of us now, but that's not the helpful point of a track. Sainz into the pit, so the medium runners are coming in. That probably means Russell is as well. And he's 4 seconds up the road and probably beyond our ability to catch. Yeah. .3, I think that's one of our faster stops at the moment. We're still into good range on that. And we are behind Bottas, who is on 1 hards. Okay, that's not the big problem it might have been. Right, standard. He has ties to last. Meanwhile, Magnussen
Try to do some lifting coast.
still doing his thing. Yeah, just 4 seconds immediately lost. That's kind of bad. That might in fact be all of our race strategy done at this point. Gonna be honest, we had a Bottas again, but Bottas is gonna have DRS to change things up on us. Yeah, pit stop, medium. I mean, how long would a new set of softs last? In theory, it could do it, but it would be very worn. And I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. No, we're gonna go pit for mediums.
Box, Kevin, box.
Box.
Alright, Schumacher, though, should be able to clear a second on Bottas, you'd think, given he's on an upgrade of tyres and also a faster general car than the Alfa Romeo, but... But DRS says a lot. Are closing in on Ricciardo, which might help us out to that end. But we are so far behind Russell, really. 5 seconds now, and gap probably expanding. All right, that's Ricciardo in, Magnussen in as well. So that's going to put us back behind that, and we have pulled out a second to Bottas, although he did get DRS, so closed it back up again. Not quite the 1 second definite. Okay, and standard push for a while. We know we can push these tyres if we need to later in the race, but we'd prefer to wait until later in the race. Okay, 5.5 seconds to make back up on Russell. What was our last time compared to him? We were a second slower. Have cleared Bottas, though, and Magnussen... Well, Bottas is going to pit, so we are 8-9 at the moment. And again, 8-9 is fine. It's not exciting, but it is where we are. On a track that doesn't especially play to our strengths. So yeah, that's confirming because we're gaining time here comparatively. We have better acceleration at least than the Mercedes possibly a better top speed as well. I don't actually know which two teams are faster than us. I, for some reason, assumed it was going to be the Red Bulls and Ferraris, but that's not necessarily true. They could just be faster than us in terms of grip levels elsewhere. I should probably do some proper analysis after this and find out. Also, Magnussen closing in on Bottas, but Bottas hasn't stopped, so this isn't really a race. But yeah, a spin each has basically cost us positions here, because Magnussen was at the front of the Alonso Russell queue, and Schumacher was in a battle with Russell. But we might still, I was about to say we might still close up on Alonso, but we need to pick up the pace if we're doing that. Alonso, of course, on the harder tyres, so yeah. Alright, Magnussen's got in range of Bottas to get DRS, but I imagine Bottas is jumping into the pits now. Might still get a DRS activation, which would be nice, but nope, he didn't jump into the pits actually, so we're just going to DRS and get past him, I would hope. No. That's Magnussen being slowed up. I mean, to be fair, Magnussen's not really fighting anybody in this race. He is 10 seconds ahead of Norris and 6.5 seconds behind Schumacher on the same strategy or similar strategy, so nothing doing there really. I guess the only thing we'll do here is just go a little aggressive and just try and make sure that we can close in, get our tyre consumption to about the same point. If Max has got 5%, might as well use it. You never know, there might be a safety car or something that makes us regret doing that, but yeah. As I say, safety car is not likely when there is just zero barrier you can impact it on this track. In fact, honestly, we're not even going to push here. I think we're fine as is. There's a little bit of fuel here, but even thinking Schumacher here, he's 7 seconds down on Russell and just does not have the pace. We are faster than Alonso, but that is 11 seconds up the road here with 14 laps to go. We're not ahead by enough. Let's go push on fuel, see if we can close up with a lap of doing this, but I think honestly it's probably not worth it. Okay, yellow sector 2, but that's behind us, so nothing that really affects us too much here. 137.4, 36.6, and Mick does a 136.7. So even with a fuel push, that basically put us in range. That though was interesting, and we'll take it. Extra point for Magnussen for fastest lap. 135.4. But I think, honestly, race over. I don't think there's... Unless anything changes, there's not much we can really do about this. We can't match Russell's pace. 4 tenths down. Magnussen is on Russell's pace, but that's because we would expect that to be the case. Gasly pits. Odd. Oh, Gasly had the early pit stop because he went on to the tyre issue, the wing issue, but yeah. Well, I guess it's going to be Schumacher versus Magnussen then for 8th position. I'm going to tell him not to fight his teammate, though, because we don't need that. In fact, I think we could even just go light and conserve and try and just save... Yeah, turn down the engines. We don't need to... I don't think this makes that much difference, but it might.
I locked up.
Oh.
Okay.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Well, apparently Magnussen was being ultra nice there and decided to let Schumacher past again, which is weird. Probably because I had the setting on, in truth, but hey. It's fine. Norris is miles behind us, so I don't think we need to worry about that. Yeah, Magnussen can totally get past Schumacher if he wanted to. Who's crashed? Sonoda and somebody. But that doesn't affect us as far as I can work out. Alright, 8-9.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
Well, we kept the fastest lap, which is, you know, bonus point. Always happy for a bonus point, and that puts Magnussen up above Valtteri Bottas in terms of positions gained, and yeah. We're still outscoring Alpine, which is the important bit, I suppose. Point for Schumacher. And 3.6 million in the bank. Okay, so that's our additional suspension bits done. An important email. Upcoming board review in 7 days. High confidence in the team overall, which we're okay with. All seems good. Okay. So, let's go and give Schumacher his development point. And honestly, we're just going to go and increase his control again, because honestly, that as much as I want to improve his speed, we have too many mistakes right now from both drivers, in truth. So that's just something we'll have to live with. Right, how much for the final upgrade on the race simulator is a good question now. 8 million. We do want that, though. So I think we'll save and continue on. Say no developments or whatever else. Hungary! Hungary should suit us, in theory. Where are we? Yeah, so Hungary is all about slow speed sections. The one DRS straight, I think, is... Well, the two DRS straights are both slow... medium speed, missingly, but we're okay in medium speed. Yes, the whole last sector and first sector of the track should be entirely us. That we should be able to make that work. It's a shame we don't have any upgrades on the cards, but this should be good for us. Alright, qualifying position. We're going to go and say both drivers in the top 10, because I think we are going to get that quite easily. And both drivers to reach Q2 is a certainty. Don't think we can say fastest lap, and obviously our hot streaks are still hot. Although, admittingly, we were just about on it last time, so we'll see. I'm thinking I might experiment and let the AI have the management of session 1, and we'll see where things actually go.
The Hungaro ring is abuzz with it.
Oh, and it's going to rain throughout the entirety of the thing. Good to know. Well, in that case, I probably do want to... Yeah. Okay. Let's say hards. Let's fit the lower quality components. We'll flip back when we can. Alright, car setup. So high speed, and Again, just giving some options. Okay, worst engine. I think we gotta stick with the ERS, and I think we're gonna stick with our dodgy-ish gearbox. Good luck with Mr. Spinout. I mean, to be fair, Magnussen's Mr. Spinout at the moment. Yeah, we went for a high wing setup with Meg. Apparently that wasn't necessarily what they want to do here. 90 low, and I'm going to let the staff simulate this one. Okay. I mean, not the worst, I guess. 76. So braking stability's bad. Let's then bring that to something around there. We know that's optimal, so it's just a case of adjust the rear wing a click and find some way to adjust that back into the optimal window. That's too much. We'll do that. See, it's burning up all of our soft tires doing this darn thing. Letting the AI take over with this is a really bad move. I mean, I've saved one. I think we're okay with that. Alright, run plan 22, driving options there, and we're going to actually do the proper thing this time. I skipped one, that's as good as I can manage.
Radio check, Kev.
Radio's good.
But this, as I've mentioned, should be a circuit we should excel at. This whole last sector of a track, the start-finish straight, should all be good for us. Slow speed into DRS into slow speed.
We expect rain again.
Copy.
One of those practice sessions, got it. Do-do-do-do-do. No, we just hope it doesn't go full wet, I suppose. I mean, you were doing that anyway, but, you know. Well, we absolutely need the running time, especially with Magnussen, apparently. He's going to get a full wet soon-ish.
How's the balance?
Yeah, might as well continue on the run for a little bit, just because.
And how was the grip and balance?
It was okay.
Okay, understood.
Alright, call in, call in. So we can do our adjustments for our last setting. Alright, 2 optimal positions. The rear wing is still not great, so we'll do 2 clicks back there. Readjust that. Trying to keep both of these optimal is really annoying. Okay, that might do. I've probably not timed this correctly. I should be going to wets, but oh well. Worst comes to it, we can just do a quick wet swap. Okay, so I just a rear wing around the other way. Just that. Find some way to bring that back into range there, and we'll say fine. This is where it will not rain enough for the wet tires to be relevant. Let's see. Okay, off you go. Off you go.
Someone spun out.
Have you damaged the car? Damaged the car.
All okay, Kev?
Sorry.
Well, we have one of those to replace, so that's fine.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
Magson then, I don't know how many crashes there's been, but multiple crashes within the last 4 races from him. I mean, the numbers say he's better than Schumacher, but he just keeps making these errors. It's right on crossover point, which is awkward and fun. Alright, put on the inters, off you go. Put on the inters, off you go.
Is it improving at all? It looks like to us it's not raining.
Copy.
I wish it just stayed out in the inters, apparently. But again, I have no idea how much heavy rain actually is going to affect this in terms of that, so... Either way, we should be good to at least the end of the session.
Kev, how's the balance?
Hey, and we even got the setup correction from Magnussen as well, just to add to that. Okay. 80%. 80% would be fine.
Welcome back to what is...
More light rain, which might actually be during qualifying, which should be fun. Right, let's see. Wow, apparently we got Schumacher on exactly the right setup. Not going to complain if that's the case. Meanwhile, straights are still bad. So we'll just do 2 clicks and then put this back to around there. Yeah, honestly, I think we're just going to adjust the rear wing and then see where we are at this point. At least one. I don't think we can necessarily do a second without doing too much. We'll try that. Looks like it's just going to be awkward. All right.
Radio check.
Radio is good.
All right. Is the rain coming? No, the rain is going to come in qualifying, so that's going to be interesting.
Read on the balance and things.
Yeah, that was great. Really good.
Okay, understood.
Here, though, we just need runtime because we're nowhere near the hundreds in terms of track knowledge. But maxed out Schumacher's setup, which is good. Yeah, we know the car's falling apart. Don't worry about it. This is practice. I need to find another game to play while I'm doing the practice sessions of these. 88 seems decent. We're okay with that. So I can adjust the rear wing again, and then I just don't have any capacity to improve any of this without screwing up that. I'll give this a go, but I think this is not gonna be good enough.
And that's the lockup.
I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with that. That's all good.
I locked up.
Twice?
Okay, understood.
off you go. As soon as you get to 100, we're probably bringing you back in.
We've had a crash.
So should get close with Magnussen's run at least.
We can take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas.
We seem very accident prone right now, and given that we're not going full push, it's concerning.
Oh, big lock up there.
Especially as that's twice now. I think we've improved their control stats at least 3 points each through this Let's Play thus far. And it's still nowhere near enough.
How's the balance?
I'm happy here.
Got it into 90. We'll take 90 if that's what has to happen here. Let's. Oh, you're already coming in. Okay, excellent, excellent. So, maximum performance bonuses for Schumacher, 1 missing for Magnussen, which we are fine with. Okay, qualifying. One important thing that I would like to know. Says the weather's like that. Can I see what the weather's going to do before things? Do I have to go... I mean, I probably would go straight away anyway, but, you know. That might have a factor in how I play this. Well, let's manage.
Ready to check heaven.
Press the pause button. Where's the weather? No weather in 1. Okay. Well, let's go out anyway. And let's see who's going to block us today. Ricardo, Russell, and lots of people. Oh, fun, but at least we don't have any weather this time, so it's fine. We'll go on the same tyres. I think we'll get through fine. Magnussen seems down a set of tyres, which I don't approve of. Okay, here we go. Alright, on board. Schumacher around the Hungaroring needs to make 0.4 of a second up on his previous lap time. Although, of course, this should be easy because he doesn't have traffic to get around. But you never know. No improvement sector 1, but this is the sector he wasn't blocked in, so that's not too surprising. That very much looked like he was about to spin there. Faster in sector 2. Couple attempts off of Magnussen's best.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Well, that's disappointing. Oh. Okay, yes, I'm undoing a thing, but I've just realized what's happened. Yeah, they might not let me do that now. Yeah, that's sticky too. Okay, so what I did was I didn't adjust the engine and gearbox and ERS that he's currently working with, which I didn't think about because I always forget about that. So that's on me. But equally, he's far down enough on the grid that I could probably afford to just take the penalties. Nope, it has let me undo this. Yeah. So, okay. I'm a cheat. I'm perfectly happy to accept I cheated. But honestly, somebody should have reminded me about this if this was a real situation. But we've still got all of the practice components in. The exception, of course, being you, because you don't have any. We are, however, going to go to your good engine and your undamaged gearbox. We definitely need a new one for Magnussen before the end of this. We're also not going to go out until the end, just to maximize punishment if this goes wrong. Because even if we had changed it out to Sector 2, it would actually have given us a penalty for that, so yeah. Yeah, totally qualifying 1. Totally qualifying 1. I mean, I started a couple of hours ago, but yeah. Absolutely no shenanigans have just occurred. Well, let's see. Hopefully we've got enough time for this. Not going to do an onboard because I think we already did that. Not that we already did that, but you know, we already did that. Oh, god darn it. Magnussen's screwing.
All okay, Kev?
Yeah, my bad.
You know what? I'm going to take that as fair punishment. It's really annoying for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to take that as a fair punishment because we tried to cheat the system. Okay. That happens. This is why we do a banker lap, folks. This is why we do a banker lap. Oh, that's depressing. All right, hold on. We'll do some adjustment parts here for Magnussen later, but that is yeah, that is horrific. Also, intermediate tires, I'm noticing. Okay. Quali 2. The important thing here is the weather consistent?
Radio check, Mick.
It's going to dry off exactly at the end, so... I mean, it worked so well last time. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to reconfigure for softs, and we're just going to go at the end.
It looks like to us it's raining.
Ah! Wet stuff coming out of the sky. I mean, we are really hoping it dries off, because if it doesn't, that's a real problem for us.
Is it improving at all? It looks like to us it's not raining.
Copy.
Well, we're going to see what other people go out on, and then we'll make our decision here. Tier 2. Alonso got to be out on Inters, surely. Alright, we're going on Inters. Didn't especially want to, but we're going to. Alright, now let's watch us get punished again. And then we're also thinking about replacing Magnussen at this team because he just keeps crashing. He's fast, he definitely is, but just keeps crashing. And yeah, it was never going to dry enough, so that's fine. There was a chance it would have done. So we need about a 124.
Locked up.
Understood, understood.
Well, this has been a disaster of a race.
Here we are, folks. We're back.
Okay. What has Schumacher got in terms of car parts here? He's got 2 decent engines, in truth, and 2 decent gearboxes. So we don't need anything more from him. Another ERS would probably be fine, but honestly, yeah, we'll take it and we'll go to ERS 5. New engine, which we will install. New gearbox, which we will install. This is probably going to put us into the We'll save a shiny new gearbox, though. I'm tempted to save the engine as well. Basically, the main reason for this is to just set ourselves up for the rest of the season so we don't have to worry about this darn nonsense. Okay. So, anything from here is an improvement. The weather is going to stay consistent throughout the rest of this. Apparently a free stop is fastest, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we'll go aggressive on the soft tyres. We'll try and make up positions. Hold the middle stint as long as we can, and that is what we will do. Okay. Meanwhile, for Magnussen, we're going to just go aggressive in the last two stints, hold that first stint long, and see how this goes. I'm also going to put max fuel in the car because we are going to start pushing immediately to try and get past on fuel. So, okay. Let's start the race. Yep. We know this. We're going to take some penalties.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid. This is it.
We are faster than our back of the grid position suggests here. We're doing last to first in Hungary.
It's lights out and away we go.
All right, Schumacher starting 20th, Magnussen starting 19th. The only way is up. Let's see how this goes. Magnussen gains 1.
Haas with an overtake.
You don't typically overtake around this part of Hungary, but apparently we're doing so. Alright, Magnussen up to 16th, Schumacher to 19th. This is all before DRS, so all working okay for us here. Unfortunately, Schumacher's getting blocked off by his Aston Martin. Vettel, your protege wants past. Let him pass. But we have to do a lot of overtaking with this strategy going two-stop. But okay, there we go. Schumacher through.
That's a new race position for Haas.
15th, 17th. I mean, points are attainable here. We can still earn some points from both drivers, I think, here. Getting both drivers to 9th would allow us to keep that target going, even if we have ruined other things.
DRS is enabled. DRS enabled.
Okay, natural. We'll keep the high fuel burn going for a little bit. Yeah, a lot of overtakes on a track you can't typically overtake on. But one that really suits our car, so... Problem is, everybody's close enough that it's DRS trains all the way. We are 5th best in top speed. We are fastest in the slowest corners, which is what this is. Makes it up to 12th, kind of towards the front of this queue now.
An excellent move by Haas to gain a few places.
Okay, Schumacher ahead of Zhou. Next up to Tsunoda. Meanwhile, Magnussen in the battle, and I think he's going to win that battle the way that's going. Alright, 11th. Let's go standard push with Schumacher. We know he's coming in earlier than Magnussen, so that's fine.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Actually, we can push a little bit with Magnussen here. Because we need to close in on Gasly, so... Magnussen up over a second on Ricciardo, so he doesn't have to worry about the counter-attack. Schumacher past Norris. Okay, so 13th, 12th. 13th, 11th at the moment. And closing in on this gaggle of cars.
No DRS.
Copy.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Yeah, good job.
Alright, now just got to hope that Schumacher can stay ahead of this. In theory he can, he's already a second clear, so... Charge the batteries a little bit while we prepare for the next lunge, the top 10. .9 is about right. This obviously is a section where we should close in on them, even during the back straight actually, even though they've all got DRS. Look at that mass train of cars here that we're now on the back of. So in terms of strategy, we're in the sort of Russell fight here, if we can close that down. So we're not a million miles off of things. Do need to close that down a bit more though, so let's go aggressive on both. Okay. I don't have a...
Let's see what happened there. Now just focus on the Haas. There's the crash.
Is there a safety car? Because if there is, that actually gives us a slight plus here. Yellow flags.
They crashed out.
Well, all on Shimi then. He's crashed out in the practice session. He crashed out in quali. And he's crashed out in the race as well.
We need to back off.
No, we don't need to back off, actually. Let's keep going. So the question now is, can Schumacher catch up to this bunch? 4.4. So we're faster than Gasly. Hopefully that'll be confirmed as the lap ends, but... it's a whole train of cars, basically Russell, Perez. And if we can close in on that with Schumacher, which is what we're trying to do with Magnussen, we're still kind of in there. Problem is they've got DRS, so they are a little faster down this bit. But I think overall, lap times about the same. We're at least faster than Joe behind us, so we're not going to fall back. It's just a case of getting closer at this point. And if Gasly loses the back of this train, we can sort of snap him up on the way. But reminder to self, build more front wings. Also, note to self, fire Magnussen. So we're a second faster on that lap. So we are faster than Gasly. Just it would be much better if we were on the back of this train than, you know, than other. Because again, we get the speed boost from that. So... well, first pit stop coming up. I think in truth, we can push that back a lap. Well, it will be pushed back a few laps, actually. Alright, let's deploy. Let's see if we can actually close this gap. Harvest for the rest of this. Gained a second on the show, but we're still
To charge on.
too far behind. And actually harvesting we're going slower, so it's marginal. Wondering if we pit now. Oh, I'm beyond the pit lane entrance, so fine. Would have been an idea to pit then, I think.
So we'll box now, box.
I imagine no. A lot of other people will be as well. Actually, no. We might be able to get a jump on somebody here. Okay, 3.3 and right behind Sonoda. So we push a little on fuel here because we want to catch up. We deploy because this is where we're going to make our strategy kind of work. And also we'd rather not have Vettel chasing us down. Botton, Ocon, Gasly, those were the cars we were fighting. I don't think we're going to make any massive impression into them, but technically we are closer. And on the inside. Okay. Normal deployment. We are 1.8. We gained about 2 free seconds on Gasly there. And if we can get onto the back of him, that is going to be huge for our race.
Is that a lockup?
1.5, 1.4. Gasly's on his own, so he doesn't have DRS support, so we should just go straight through him here. Meanwhile, how are we doing on strategy calls? We are pretty much where we want to be, with the exception of Magnussen not being here. DRS for this one.
I locked up.
Okay, understood.
This series, alright.
Was that a lockup on the track?
Well. Alright, let's just go 16 speed here.
Copy.
Wait till we're back behind Gasly and then we do it all again.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
And just consider the fact that we're losing. I mean, I guess on that basis, didn't lose a lot to directly Gasly, but Gasly's already falling behind Ocon, so. Alright, second attempt at this. Can we actually make this stick this time? Yes, we can. And we have DRS for this bit as well, which is nice. And, okay. Bit more fuel usage. Let's catch up to Ocon. Yeah, our car is better than it has been the last 4 races. This has been a disappointing run of form. All because we dared to go onto the podium with 2 drivers that one race. Possibly not, but you know. We just stopped developing the car components at that point, which and moved on to research, which, again, should pay us off next season, but... Okay, 1:21.6, fastest lap. Gonna spend a couple of laps just building up that battery again, I think. Okay, so we have a bit of reserve. Now let's see if we can close in. 2.2. Of course, Bottas and Ocon both have DRS. Well, they're DRS training each other, so... So here we go then. Let's go for a bit more viewer usage and see what we can do about these two. That's 9th if we can get both of these. We of course have to overtake and get clear, which is the more difficult bit, but we can do that. It's doable. Yeah, we are faster at the moment, and obviously we're pushing our tires quite hard, but all right, and the second bit. Nope, not able to make it work. Alright, let's go for a bit of deployment here, see if we can actually slingshot our way through. Okay, alongside the Alpha, we should have the inside for this bit, and that should be job done. And can we get past the Alpine as well? Maybe.
Haas with an overtake.
Got the inside for this bit, and then it's just a case of holding this through the next section. All right, normal deployment. We're gonna struggle here because we've got nothing for the main straight, but we're ahead, and we have the naturally faster car out of these 2 corners. And we are pretty good in the straight line, if not amazing. And certainly they were able to hold us off, but they're going to now get past us, both of them, aren't they? Just to... Ah!
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
Alright, harvest up. See if we can stick with him, and we're going to try and blitz past him the next lap or 2. And again, then it's just the case of getting the gap up and seeing where we are in relation to Norris, really.
Seems to have been a lockup.
But if we get past him while we're harvesting battery, that's pretty good for us. And DRS here. Okay, I'm confident we're going to be able to clear them by a second before we get to the next DRS point, so... So confident. I'm going to try and make sure of that by paying some fuel here, because Bottas seems reasonably quick. Okay, Norris into the pits, so now this is sort of the battle there. We hold the fastest lap. 1.2 is the gap, and we're behind Alonso. Are we behind Alonso by close enough to get some DRS assistance? Would be nice if we could, but I think that's not quite what's happening. So, imagine they're on hards to the end. DRS down the back straight. We might be able to close in on Alonso, you know. Okay, so we're in DRS of Alonso. That actually is going to help us because Alonso will, in theory, drag us along. And it means that we are in a direct race with him, really. Because we're going to be... If we're faster than him now and on faster tyres at the end, there's a chance we can leapfrog him. Gonna, however, spend the next few laps just harvesting battery behind him and seeing if we can take advantage. If we get past Russell, that'd be good, because I know Russell was sort of fighting for third at one point in this. Okay, we are past Russell. This is now a freeway fight that we are kind of winning in.
Haas have moved up the field.
Alright, push. We're going to see if we can get that second gap. And if so, then we're pushing to try and gain the advantage on Alonso so we can pit stop behind him and be close enough to actually overtake him again at the end of the race. So, all-out push here. Hopefully more than a second at the DRS point, because that will save us some effort, and it looks like that's happened. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with the results of that. 1.9 is the gap, and because it's 1.2 over 2 seconds now, reharvest. Okay. We have a game plan. Game plan is keep going faster than Alonso and Russell. And don't let them back in DRS range if we can absolutely avoid it. We do want battery, though, which is why I've got to try and make that work for us, but let's see. I think at 1.6 we'll hold off there. Question is Russell faster than us at the moment? He should be. And is. Yeah, he is. Alright, we're not going to fight too hard here, I think. We're just going to... Just going to see. And already Alonso back in range. So the tyres are turned on now. When are we pitting again? We are pitting in 10 laps time. And then we've got to hope we're a second a lap faster than Alonso at the end of this. Well, some battery saved. Russell passed us.
Just advanced.
And for now, we can use their hopefully superior pace to drag us along. I mean, I think we should be reasonably safe for 8th position here, but... Let's see who else has to do this, because I think everybody behind us is on up down to Norris is on the same strategy, and Norris is far enough back that I don't think he's a problem for us. In fact, are we lapping faster than Norris right now? We're not, actually, but... 22.5. Okay, no, we are. Under the DRS assistance, we absolutely are. So we'll save a bit of fuel, we'll save a bit of battery where we can, and see how this goes. Would like Alonso to stick with Russell, though. But harvesting and still staying in DRS range. That is where we want to be. Okay. .121. Norris doing 120. Yeah, so 6/10 of the lap as well. We should emerge ahead of Norris, and even if we didn't, we'd get past him on the faster medium tyres. Oh, is Alonso breaking DRS here? That'd be fun. Our timer seems to, our interval seems to have slightly bugged, and we're now looking at Alonso, hoping that doesn't apply during the detection zones, because we definitely are within range. But 1.3 I'd say was a gap to Alonso, not to Russell right now. Okay, how are we looking then? So we can potentially go early if we needed to. We ran wide, but it didn't seem to affect us.
They've run wide.
Didn't seem to affect us, that's okay. Mistakes being made. So when we pit, we're going to have a high fuel run, high energy run, hopefully, as well. Yeah, it does seem to have bugged our position here a little bit, because we seem to have the gap to Russell. Not the gap to Alonso. Let's say, based on that, Alonso's in trouble now. But actually, no DRS for any of us. And therefore, it's recovered itself. Yeah, 1.1 all the way down. Okay. Well, we're approaching our pit window anyway, so we've kind of... I'm kind of thinking about doing it early. Especially now that we lost DRS. The medium tyres will last that long, so I just can't push on them. I've got to go normal speed for it. So a turn of harvesting, just get ourselves battery up to maximum, and then we'll go full attack from there. Right, on to mediums. They will last. Go early. Hope we are faster than Alonso and Russell.
Okay, box now, box now.
Copy for box.
But we did lose a second here, but then our tyres are basically 50% and looking close to done here. So, not surprising, their tyres are pretty good. 20% use. Okay, strategy begins. So we know a couple of drivers who are getting past us won't be stopping again. Norris is the one who might, and I think we'll get ahead of Norris anyway, so that's fine. Alright, 3.5 through the pits. Medium tyres to the end. Let's go push, and let's go deploy, because that's what we saved this for. I mean, even the ones on hard tyres might try to get to the end, but I think we should be noticeably quicker. That's certainly the hope. Yeah, fastest last sector of anybody. And this should be our... This should be the lap that does it. Yellow in sector 2. That was around the Alonso-Russell fight.
Like someone's locked up.
But it was Stroll, so nothing that affects us. Personal best sector 1. Personal best sector 2. And we didn't get the fastest lap, annoyingly. Personal best final sector, admittingly, but still. Alright, let's go back to neutral here. So, lap times 120.0, Alonso 20.5. Oh, we're not closing him up on that pace, but let's see. We can be a little ahead of our tyre wear rates if we need to be. Alright, DRS down the back straight. And need to get past him pretty instantly here. Still need to get past him instantly. We do not want to be held up at this point, and we are not. Okay. Job done. 120.9, a second clear faster than Alonso.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
So science, this is like when most people on our strategy were pitting. We've just gone a couple of laps earlier to try and make sure of things, gain the extra time of forcing. I mean, we're a second a bit faster than Russell, second faster than Alonso. This all looks good. Do we get DRS from Ocon there? We do. Excellent. So, 19 seconds to Russell. It's a big ask, but a second a lap will get us there. Yeah, blue flag. Come on. Don't get in our way. We're on a charge. Thank you. No DRS for us, unfortunately, but hey. 17-2. Oh wow, we just gained 2 seconds on that last lap. 2.5 really. So if we can keep doing those, Russell and Alonso have no chance. Our tyres have to hold on, but they should, in theory. I'm going to start harvesting the battery for a lap or two, just because... Yeah, and again, a second gained, which is fine. It's what we want to be doing. But I'm just going to harvest down the main straight, because that's the one we gain most of our DRS back. So... And of course, eventually we're not going to be able to push on fuel either. So I think all of this is going to slowly rebalance out. But I don't... 8th is where we're going to finish, at worst. So... Alright, 121.9, 120.9, so another second gained. Yes, I'm literally just going to do for the last 2 corners, because that gives about 10% of the time, and that'll eventually build up so that we can put that onto into a charge to get away from Alonso if we get ahead of him. Alonso also isn't in range of Russell, which actually is helping us on the catch them up to them plan, I guess. Although Russell is faster than us on that lap. 21.5, 21.7. Maybe just because of a DRS pass, I don't know. 20.8. laps to go, and we're gaining about a second a lap. 14.4 is the gap. Unfortunately, we now have run out of excess fuel. So now are we faster than them is a good question. And even considering this, our tyres aren't that much better anymore. 121.0. Yeah, 7/10. I don't think we're not going to catch them. We're quicker, but we're not quicker by enough to make up a pit stop. Nonetheless, their tyres go completely off. Yeah, because in theory I could try pushing a little harder on these tyres, but I know it's a little dodgy to do that. So, yeah, 14 is as good as it's going to... Gained a lot this lap, though. Harvest round here. Okay, yellow in sector 3. Nothing. Nope.
We've
Okay.
just had a spin.
Show doesn't affect us. Alright, we're on fuel parity. Our battery's charging up, so we can make a go at it, but we're not making enough time in what we got left, I think. 15 laps and 13 seconds. Alright, so battery's now as charged as we can do it. So let's go push on fuel while we got a bit spare. Let's see what we can do. We're going to do a lap of aggressive. Can't do too many of these, but we can do one or two. Alonso's actually back within Russell's range, I've just realised, so... Alright, balance, in 13 seconds. Yeah, it's over. We are faster, we will close them down, but just not enough. And our tyres will be in worse shape than theirs by the time we do. Yeah, 120.7, 120.5, 121.4. We're matching their pace here. We gained advantage because of DRS this time round, and that'll matter next lap. But well, let's deploy. Let's go for a full lap and make ourselves feel good. But I don't. A second lap from here is got to be impossible. But fastest lap earned. 119.3. It's going to be difficult for them to beat that, you've got to think. Although we have 12 laps to go, so maybe it's not, but... Alright, let's speed up. I don't think there's too much else that's going to really be important in this race, and if it does, it'll interrupt us for that. But 10 seconds is the gap. That's the leader crossing the line behind us. 10 laps to go. Yeah, half a second. If we'd have started 10 seconds behind them, I think we'd have managed it in time and possibly with enough to do. Go high fuel for as long as we can. Yeah, 7 laps to go. That's 7.4. We need Alonso to basically disintegrate now. I say it's a good effort, but it's just not. We unfortunately left ourselves with a bit too much to do. We need to get ahead of Alonso like we did and be able to stay ahead, ultimately. But we weren't able to maintain the gap because their tyres were better than us. Alright, point 2. I've pushed that as high as I possibly can here.
Okay, Mick, we need to save some fuel because we're not going to finish.
Copy.
We'll be fine. What are you talking about? We'll be absolutely fine.
Okay, we need to save some fuel.
Okay.
It's getting very good about telling us that. Alright, 3 laps to go, 4 seconds. Let's see. There he is up the road. Go aggressive on the tyres. We can afford it now. Let's fight for 7th. Yeah, Magnussen's crashed in practice, qualifying, and the race. And he also crashed in France. This has been... both drivers actually spanning France. Here, we're on a sort of weird strategy call, which has basically meant that we've basically been chasing down Alonso from about 20 seconds back to about 2. But we're not going to be able to catch him. .2. Our tyres are destroyed. So are his, though. Stappen wins behind us. We have to overtake this lap. 2 seconds. No overtaking points in Hungary. But let's have a go anyway. All attack. All push. Honestly, fine. You see, this is us pushing to the absolute maximum, and I understand those sorts of mistakes. But, you know, it was a good effort by Schumi, but we just unfortunately weren't able to, before the pit stop, make enough time. 8th it is. And we even lost the fastest lap that we had a while back. Oh dear. Well, maybe we do need to focus on current development. But that's what, 5 races in a row that went badly for us, really, in various ways. Well, Mick gains 4 points, and yeah, that double podium feels like a long while ago. We're holding the gap, though. We're still. This is about where we should be performing. Let's be honest. Let's just not talk about Magnussen right now. 2.2. So we lose our bonuses as well from this because we also failed in qualifying. Yeah, Hungary was supposed to be one of our better circuits and didn't work. Good news is we have rewards. Okay, we need to manufacture some new front wings. I'm going to manufacture 3. When's the next race? 25 days. So we actually have lots of time for this. Yep, we know about that. That's fine. Managing and scouting report on a couple of people. Financial reports. Yep, doing okay. Doing okay. Okay. Sidepod research complete. Okay, so let's then go for an underfloor project here. We don't actually. We got enough to do this, so let's go for it. Use our remaining points here, get a downforce upgrade, and I think we'll keep on with our low speed focus a little bit here. And go for that. Okay, this is one of our longer ones, but equally, it's one of our longer ones. So, 1 million for underfloor research. And in 7 days, we can do suspension research as well. The only facility I'm interested in upgrading is this, but we need 8 million for that, and I'd rather focus on next year's car upgrades, I think. And possibly the design center upgrade again. Okay, front wings are manufactured. Suspension research done. Okay. So, new development. Research. So the only thing we haven't researched, front wing and rear wing. Let's go for front wing. So we don't have any aerodynamic tokens to spend, and I think again we're going to focus on low speed cornering and front end air thing here. I think we can lower this. As long as we're not losing points, I'm okay with how this is going here. Yeah, I'm alright with that. And that. So 5th of October. So a couple of long projects, but this is going to be fine. We just have to get a rear wing project before the end of the race, and we got some and everything done. I should actually have checked. When's our next aerodynamic testing period done there? I guess the only downside with this is that we don't have any ability to take advantage of that, but both the projects are finished at the same time, so it's fine. Focusing on next season. Still the agenda. Underfloor, low stock. Yeah, okay. We're not too bothered about that. Okay, on to Belgium. One of the best races in the calendar, and unfortunately probably not one that's going to be good for us. So, next time we will obviously put your front wing on. There you go. Don't break this one, please. Alright, next time we will do Belgium, but that's 2 races for today. I'm going to call that stream here. Thanks for joining me, those who did. Catch you later.